Welcome to the channel. This is Tartarian Explorer here. Today, I want to take you on a stroll through Midtown Manhattan in New York City. I recently took a trip with a fellow explorer, Christelle. Had an amazing time, and I'll take you on a walkthrough with some details about the buildings that we're looking at with some music. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here we are at Grand Central Terminal, also referred to as Grand Central Station or simply Grand Central. It covers 48 acres and has 44 platforms, more than any other railroad station in the world. This is the Glory of Commerce. The Glory of Commerce sculptural group rests atop the terminal's facade, directly above a broken pediment featuring a large clock. The work is also known as Progress with Mental and Physical Force or Transportation. It is about 48 feet tall, 66 feet wide, and weighs about 1,500 short tons. At its unveiling in 1914, the work was considered the largest sculptural group in the world. The work is seen as attempting to fulfill several goals, portraying the terminal itself as a new technology, representing the Vanderbilt family, and serving as an artistic piece to parallel European art and architecture of the time. Here we're entering the main concourse in the geographical center of the station building. The 35,000 square foot concourse leads directly to most of the terminal's upper level tracks, although some are accessed from passageways near the concourse. The main concourse is usually filled with bustling crowds and is often used as a meeting place. The main concourse's ceiling is an elliptical barrel vault, with its base at an elevation of 122 feet and its crown at 160 feet. A false ceiling of square boards installed in 1944 bears an elaborate mural of constellations painted with more than 2,500 stars and several bands in gold set against a turquoise backdrop. The concourse floor is made of pink Tennessee marble. A four-faced brass clock is one of Grand Central's most recognizable icons. It is made of opalescent glass, now often called opal glass or milk glass. The concourse is lit by 10 globe-shaped chandeliers in the Beaux Arts style, each of which weighs 800 pounds and contains 110 bulbs. Be sure to stick around towards the end of the video, as I'll be detailing the previous two buildings that stood before this glorious structure. Here we have the Helmsley Building, a 35-story skyscraper at 230 Park Avenue between East 45th and 46th Streets, just north of Grand Central Terminal. It was built in 1929 supposedly as the New York Central Building, and was designed by Warren and Wetmore in the Beaux Arts style. The building has been described as the last major project built as part of the Terminal City complex around Grand Central. The facade of the four-story base is composed of limestone and Texas pink granite, while the upper stories are clad with brick. The top of the Helmsley Building is a pyramid with an ornate cupola. The Helmsley Building carries vehicular traffic through its base. Traffic exits and enters the Park Avenue Viaduct, which is amazing, and you'll see that in a moment. Through two portals passing under the building. Flanking the viaduct's ramps are passageways connecting 45th and 46th Streets, with entrances to Grand Central Terminal. The lobby of the building is between the vehicular portals and contains bronze and marble detailing. The Helmsley Building has 1.4 million square feet of office space. So unfortunately, we couldn't get in farther into the lobby area. We were stopped by the security. You can't just walk in there and take video because it's so amazing there, but they don't want you to do that. So that's all right. It's still amazing from the outside. That's the viaduct right here. Part of it. Yeah. And of course this, do you see, like, you would not expect how tall it is from here.
Look inside the big arch.
Oh, I don't know how, you can't go inside there, yeah.
Yeah, unless we stay at the hotel, but...
There's a guy looking at me like,
but it's too late because he saw us.
Yeah, it's okay, yeah. But, you know.
I want to check. I'm kind of interested.
Okay.
Busy almost every day events in spring and fall.
I'm surprised it would be less busy now.
A lot of people travel on holidays.
Wow. Look at those little guys to the ceiling, like those little ones, the little nuts.
Oh, wow.
Like
Here we are at 110 East 42nd Street, also known as the Bowery Savings Bank Building, an 18-story office building designed in the Italian Romanesque revival style by York and Sawyer. The building is directly above the New York City Subway's Grand Central 42nd Street station. Here is the original first branch at 130 Bowery, an equally impressive structure, which now that I know exists down in Lower Manhattan, I will be visiting the next time I'm in the city. The first floor consists of 3 sections: an elevator vestibule on the west, a banking room on the center, and the smaller chapel section to the east. The annex and banking rooms use a mixture of materials on the walls and columns. According to the Landmarks Preservation Commission, these include ashlar as well as marble, limestone, sandstone, imitation stone, and plaster. The New York Times described the space as one of the largest banking rooms in a New York City bank. The banking room uses marble, limestone, sandstone, and bronze screens to create a space reminiscent of a basilica. The floor is made of polychrome marble, bordered by a cream-colored band of Tranville marble. The floor is arranged in multicolored patterns laid in asymmetrical panels to resemble throw rugs. The patterns alternate between lozenges with stars, lozenges with squares, and hexagons. On the 4-story base facing 42nd Street to the north, there is a large round arched entrance taking up most of the facade with detailed archivolts, which means basically it represents the gateway between holy space of the church and the external world, which is very interesting. So maybe this building was used for different purposes back in the past, not for a bank, basically. The bank is just a cover story for now. So, the arch measures 27 feet wide and 47 feet high. The large ground floor arch leads to the giant banking room inside. Above this large arch are carvings of numerous animals that represent facets of the savings industry. These include a squirrel, a rooster, a dog, a lion, an owl, an eagle, a human with keys, and a farmer. Here we have St. Patrick's Catholic Cathedral. It is the largest Gothic Revival Catholic cathedral in North America. Supposedly constructed starting in 1858. It is clad in marble and has several dozen stained glass windows. It measures 332 feet long, with a maximum width of 174 feet at the transepts. The bronze doors that form the cathedral's main entrance on 5th Avenue are flanked by towers with spires rising 329.5 feet. The northern tower contains 19 bells, and the interior has 2 pipe organs. Inside is a nave flanked by several chapels, 2 transepts, a chancel, an apse, and a crypt. East of the apse are the rectory, Lady Chapel, and Archbishop residence facing Madison Avenue. So I didn't want to take any footage inside. There was a church service going on. But what's funny is the guy asked, "Are we here for a church service?" And Christelle goes, "Yeah." And okay, come on in. And we obviously weren't there for church service. We just wanted to see the building. And then we left early. It was kind of awkward. We just walked out the middle during church service, but we had things to do and places to see, so we left. This is some evidence of the mud flood on a nearby building close to the church. You can see how far down the windows and doors go on the building. To me, this shows evidence that there was a change in ground level after the building was built, and I believe they dug out the buildings and basically uncovered them with mud. Comment in the comments if you have any thoughts on that, but it's pretty obvious to me there was a mud flood at some point in the past. This is the New York Public Library, supposedly constructed between 1897 and 1911. The Beaux Arts main branch was the largest marble structure up to that time in the United States, with shelf space for 3.5 million volumes spread across 375,000 square feet. The projected final cost was $10 million, excluding the cost of the books and the land, representing a 4-fold increase over the initial cost estimate of $2.5 million. The structure ultimately cost $9 million to build, over 3 times as much as originally projected. Because there were so many visitors during the first week of the main branch opening, the New York Public Library's directors initially did not count the number of visitors, but guessed that 250,000 patrons were accommodated in the first week. The construction of the main branch, along with that of the nearby Grand Central Terminal, helped to revitalize Bryant Park. The building was constructed on the site of the old Croton Reservoir. This was next to the old New York Crystal Palace, which burned down in the 1850s. I will be detailing more information about those 2 buildings in my upcoming video, Lost New York. So this structure is about 4 acres of beautiful, delicate white Vermont marble with fine graining details. It's incredible. Using 530,000 square feet of marble, with exterior marble facing 12 inches thick, the library used more than 6 times the marble used in the New York Stock Exchange and the New York Chamber of Commerce combined. The library lions, which we saw coming up, sculpted by Edward C. Potter, were made with pink Tennessee marble. Sadly, these fountains were not in operation today. They remind me of beautiful fountains in parts of Italy. Some of the grand fountains located there. Just as spectacular. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe, as it helps grow my channel. It helps me to go to more places and bring you more beautiful architecture. At the base of this flagpole is an intricately detailed bronze statue. Now we're going to take a look inside the building and see all the incredible detailed artwork in the hallways, on the ceilings, and basically everywhere you look. It's incredibly detailed. We are now under the McGraw Rotunda. This impressive space is set beneath arched bays, paired Corinthian walnut pilasters over 17 feet high, and striking murals by Edward Lanning depicting the history of the written word. McGraw Rotunda lends itself to small receptions, dinners, and cocktail events. So these last 3 minutes or so will be some more footage of this beautiful library. Stay tuned at the end for more information about Grand Central Terminal. So at the site of the Grand Central Terminal, which we looked at first, was the Grand Central Depot, the largest rail facility in the world at its time of its completion, in 1871. In 1898, 3 stories were added to the terminal building, giving it the appearance in this photograph. And what gets me every time with these stories is, just 12 years later, the old Grand Central Depot was demolished in 1910 and replaced with the current Grand Central Terminal, which opened to the public in 1913. So they make the biggest railroad station at the time in 1871, and then they improve it a little bit, and then in 1910 they demolish it. Quite fascinating. As we're told, construction of the new terminal took over 10 years with nearly 3.2 million cubic yards of earth and rock excavated. Up to 10,000 workers at a time were assigned to the building. Thank you for watching, and my next video will be Lost New York. See you next time.